Retiring early is one of the most important things you can do in your life. And today's video, I'm going to show you guys how you guys can do that in your own life. I'm Hoan. Welcome to the Hoan Zone, where we help you multiply the assets you own. And for me, I didn't retire immediately. I worked as an engineer for about 5.5 years. I got my degree in mechanical engineering, and then I got a master's degree in financial engineering. And then I worked as an engineer for 5.5 years, like I said, and I absolutely hated it. I hated the work that I was doing. I hated the people that I was working with. And it's not that I hated them directly. I just knew that I wasn't living up to my own potential. And I know some of you guys feel that way too, because you guys are watching this video. So I needed to figure out how to get out of my current situation. And I knew getting another job would just be putting myself back in the same situation. So getting another job, off the list. So I needed to figure out how to start a business. And I created a whole bunch of different businesses. And unfortunately, I didn't have a good plan. The plans that I would have was like, okay, I'm going to start up something like creating a shirt company, and then I'm going to buy the shirts, and I'm going to make the shirts, and then I'm going to sell the shirts. And then what I figured out quickly was that I was just creating another job for myself. It just so happens that I own this job. It wasn't until I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki that I learned exactly what to do, and that was to invest in real estate. But why in real estate? Why did I start investing in real estate? What was it in the book that told me that I should do it? It's because there was a system in place. When you buy a property, there's a system there where you can hire contractors and you can hire property managers, and then you can also use other people's money and then pay them back with other people's money. So there was a whole system in place, and that's where I got the bright idea. You know what? I'm going to become a real estate investor. I had no interest in being a real estate investor before reading that book. So it was that book that I guess turned the light on for me. And here we are 10 years later or 11 years later, or whatever it is, I'm still investing in real estate. So after reading the book, I got super excited, like, yeah, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to be a real estate investor, and then I'm going to have all this money and all that kind of stuff. And like many of you guys, I got stuck. I didn't know what to do for the next 2 years. It took me 2 years to get my first property. And I think it would have probably taken even longer than that if it weren't for me going to a seminar that taught me how to BRRRR. For those who don't know what that means you buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. Okay, buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. That is a strategy to buy properties that you're going to hold on to. And when I learned it back then, it didn't even have a name. But I still use that strategy today, and a lot of people use that strategy to buy and hold real estate. After I went to that seminar, I was able to buy my first property, which was a 6-unit, a 6-unit apartment building. So I had 3 2-bedrooms on one side and then 3 studios on the other side. So the front of the building had all the studios, and then the back of the building had all of the 2-bedroom units. The 2 bedrooms were renting for $850 a month, if I remember correctly, and the studios were renting for, it was $550 for the second and third floor, and then $450 for the first floor because it was a smaller unit. So there I had 6 units, and I did that while working my full-time job. Luckily I did, because a couple of years later I got let go from my job, and then I had no job. So I had my 6-unit pumping out the income, and then I also had unemployment. So together I was just fine. If you think about it, that was me retiring early, right? Because I had passive income coming in from unemployment, and I had passive income coming in from my rental property. Unfortunately, the unemployment doesn't last forever, but that was a taste of early retirement, and that's what I want for you guys. If you guys can figure out how to get early retirement for the rest of your life, not just for 1 year, that will change your life forever, because you get to spend more time with your family or your friends. You can go on vacations for way longer. You can do pretty much whatever you want, and you don't have to stress out about all of the things you stress out about in your job, right? That's the thing we're trying to get you to go away from. I don't want you guys to have to work and be all stressed out about your job. I want you to be able to choose to work if you want to. And what you got to do is collect enough passive income to retire young. Now that I've retired young, I'm going to give you guys a few key takeaways that you can apply to your own journey, because it will be a journey. Do not rush this, because this is your life. Because once you retire, what else is there? There's just more life. So this is just part of your journey. Takeaway number 1, do not allow other people to define your life. They will tell you that what you're about to do is risky or dangerous, or you should focus on this or focus on that. Hey guys, look, check it out. This is your life, and you're the one who has to ultimately live it. When you talk to people about what plans you have, what they're going to do is share with you their fears if they were in your shoes, but you do not have to live through their fears. So make sure that you define your life the way you want. Most people would say that, Hoan, you're not supposed to invest in a 6-unit apartment building as your first deal. Well, I did. So what? It made it happen. The second takeaway I have for you guys is to just be around the people who are doing what it is that you want to do, and not just because of the mindset. That's important, to absorb the mindset. If people are doing bigger things, you want to absorb and think big like they do. Not only that, but for the resources. When you're a real estate investor, you're going to need a lot of resources. And when I needed a title company, when I needed an architect, even when I needed something as small as like, hey, I need an exterminator, who do you got? That is where the hanging around the people, they have the resources. That's where that's key, because when you're doing this project, when you're doing your many projects, when you are multiplying the assets you own, you're going to need these resources. Just be around the people who are doing what it is that you're doing, just to make that process easier, because it gets super scary when you're in the middle of a project and you need a certain resource and you're not sure what you're going to do. Are you going to Google somebody like randomly? That's scary. So be around the people who are doing what it is that you want to do. I was lucky that I went to that seminar, and the person who was teaching the seminar was a local real estate investor, and that's how I was able to get a lot of the resources that I still use today. The third takeaway that I want you guys to have is you guys have to have a cushion of money. I see a lot of real estate investors who have just enough money to get by, and that is not enough. Having a cushion of money makes you sleep well at night, because things go bump in the night, and every time they go bump, it comes out of your pocket. Money comes out of your pocket to pay for that bump. And so how do you have extra money? How do you have a cushion? Well, start stacking your lines of credit now. Have that money as a line of credit where you don't have to pay interest on that money until you use that money. So it's wonderful to have a whole bunch of lines of credit, so that no matter what happens, you know you have the money to pay for the thing. And then you're going to use cash flow to pay for the line of credit. And then even if you're not generating cash flow just yet, you can use the line of credit to pay for itself. You can use the line of credit to pay for the mortgage. So maybe you have to pay $1,000 a month in interest from your mortgage and your line of credit, then borrow $1,200 a month or $1,400 a month. Pay the mortgage and the line of credit, and then pay a little bit more towards the interest every single month, whatever it is, right? So you get to borrow money to pay for the money until you stabilize the property. So stack up your lines of credit now, because things go bump in the night. And if you guys need help with building up your lines of credit, there is a service that I can recommend to you. Go to hoanzone.com/LOC. hoanzone.com/LOC. LOC stands for line of credit. And there they will help you find lines of credit. My final takeaway is to not be an undercover real estate investor. Make sure everybody knows that you're a real estate investor, because what's going to happen is you're going to start getting deal flow, because people are going to see that you invest in real estate, you buy properties, they're going to send you properties, they're going to send you leads, sellers are going to come your way. And in order to be a better real estate investor, you need more deals. And so where do you get those deals from? Well, by letting people know that you are an investor, you will get deal flow from there. You will also get money from people, because people are looking to invest. They're looking to do something with the money that they have sitting there. So if you can show that you are a real estate investor and that you do deals, they're going to ask you, hey, I'm interested in investing as well. They may not know to lend you money, but that is a conversation that can evolve from the initial contact. Once they reach out to you, you guys develop a relationship. Later on, you introduce them to the idea of that they can lend you money on your projects, and voila, you have yourself a private money lender. And then the third reason why you want to not be an undercover real estate investor is because you want to meet more people that have more resources, like we talked about earlier. You're going to need these resources. How do you get those resources? Well, through people. And who are these people? It's the people who are doing what it is that you want to do. The people who are doing what it is that you want to do, they're going to see that you're already doing something. Birds of a feather flock together. You guys are going to come together. You guys get to share in resources, and then everybody gets richer. All right, guys, I hope you got a lot out of this video. If you did, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, because we release new videos every Monday and Wednesday here on the Hoan Zone, where we help you multiply the assets you own. All right, guys, I'm Hoan Tai. Let's multiply.